Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to crochet a beautiful tank top here. It's so difficult to come up with the name, and I post on my Instagram to ask all my friends what should I name for this tank top to be. And I have a lot of cool name that my friend give it to me, and I appreciate everybody that try to help me out with the name, and I love all of them, but I have to pick one. So I pick one. It's called Crochet Summer Vibe tank top. It's so difficult for me to say this word because in Thailand we don't have the V sound. And yeah, thanks Taylor to help me out with the name. And I also have free written pattern for size extra small to double XL is available on my blog, but if you prefer PDF printable version, it's available for purchase on my Etsy shop and my Ravelry store. I will put all the link in description below. And for this tutorial, I will show you in size small. I hope you enjoy! Before we start, I just want to talk about the pattern a little bit. So for this tank top, it's very easy to make. And we're gonna make two panels exactly the same, all right? And I already have one panel done here because we make two exactly the same, all right? So we will start right here and then make the chain, and the chain that we make gonna be the width of the tank top, okay? And then we will crochet back and forth. I use half double crochet stitch, and then when we come to this part right here, we will separate the left side and the right side for the bra shape. Alright, so we will crochet the left side first, the left side when you wear it. Alright, and we will crochet till we at the end here, and then after that we will come back to the right side, adding yarn right in the middle here, and then go back and forth, crochet exactly the same. When we make the left side, we cannot make the right side exactly the same, okay? And now if you want your tank top to be longer, or even you want to make a dress, you keep adding more rows before you separate the left side and the right side, okay? And then after we have two panels, we're gonna put them like this, and then we're gonna sew on the at the shoulder here, and then on the side. Very easy. We will sew on the wrong side, okay? And I just want to show you my panel here. So see, I start right here, crochet back and forth. See, this is the left side when you wear it, okay? The bra shape. I crochet till I end here, and then I leave a tail for sewing the shoulder part together. And then after I done the left side, I come back to the right side, adding the yarn right here, right in the middle here, and then crochet back and forth. Use the same pattern that when we make the left side, okay? And then at the end, I leave a long tail again. And then for the long tail, you just need to leave in one panel. The other panel, you don't need to leave a long tail because we're gonna use this tail to sew the shoulder on the other panel, okay? And yeah, so for the measurement from here to here, the width is 14.4 inches for small size, which is the size that I'm gonna show you in this tutorial. And then the length from here all the way up here is 16.6 inches long, okay? Again, for small size. And now if you want longer, I tell you earlier, you keep adding more rows before you separate the left and the right side. And yeah, let's get started. Here is the materials that you will need for this project. So for this project, I'm using Burnett Softy Baby Cotton, and here is the color. It is size 3 lightweight yarn or DK weight yarn, okay? And and 254 yards per each skein. Okay, 232 meter per each skein. And I bought 2 skeins, and this is what I have left for the second skein. So for the second skein, I use about a quarter of that skein. Like I said, that's what I have left. Okay, and I will put more details in description below. Please go check that out. And yeah, you can use any kind of yarn you like, but I recommend cotton yarn for this project. And make sure to look for light number 3. All right, crochet hook size 5 millimeters, scissors, yarn needle, and stitch marker. Okay, first I'm gonna make slip knot, and then make 55 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, keep making the chain, and make sure when you make the chain, don't make it too tight. And I will meet you guys back in when I have 55 chains. Okay, now I have 55 chains. And then row 1 gonna be the right side. So for the odd number row gonna be the right side, and even number row gonna be the wrong side. Okay, so row 1, skip 1 chain stitch and then make half double crochet into the next chain stitch. Okay, but I always like to go into the little bump on the back of the chain stitch. You can go into the normal chain stitch as well, but I recommend go into the little bump on the back of the chain stitch, but whatever you prefer. Okay, so I yarn over, skip the first chain stitch, insert the hook into the next chain stitch, but I insert my hook into the little bump here. Pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. This is the first half double crochet, and then we're just gonna make 1 half double crochet into each chain stitch across. So yarn over, insert the hook into the next chain stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Now I have 2. Repeat that. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next chain stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Now I have 3. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next chain stitch, pull up a loop, and make half double crochet. Just repeat that into each stitch. Okay, so the reason that I go into the little bump on the back of the chain stitch, it'll give me really nice edge. All right, yeah, keep making that. I will meet you guys back in when you reach the end of row 1. I'm at the end of row 1 here, and I have 54 stitches. Make sure you will have even number of stitches, because when we gonna separate the left and the right, we want to have even stitches. Okay, we want to separate evenly. That's why we need even stitches number. Okay, and for row 2, you're gonna chain 1 and turn. You can turn first and chain, doesn't matter. And then the chain 1 never count as a stitch. And then we're gonna make 1 half double crochet into each stitch across. So I yarn over, insert the hook into the first stitch here, right here, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. This is the first half double crochet, and then yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, and make half double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, and make half double crochet. Okay, yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, and make half double crochet. You're gonna keep repeating that till you reach the end of row 2, and I will meet you guys back in. I'm at the end of row 2 here, but I haven't made the last stitch yet. I just want to show you guys. Sometimes it's difficult to see. So this is gonna be the last stitch. If you're not sure, you can turn as well. You can see the V shape here. I'm gonna make the last half double crochet in there. So I yarn over, insert the hook into the last stitch here, pull up a loop and make a half double crochet. Alright, the end of row 2, I have the same 54 stitches because we not increase or decrease. Okay, so now row 3 to row 24, we're gonna repeat row 2. But if you want longer, this part longer, you keep adding more rows before we separate the left side and the right side. Okay, so for me, for size small, row 3 to row 24, I'm gonna repeat row 2. Okay, you just follow whatever the size that you're making. I give you guys written pattern, just follow that number. Okay, so row 3, repeat row 2. I just show you guys a few stitches. So I chain 1 and turn. The chain 1 never count as a stitch. And then 1/2 double crochet into each stitch across. So yarn over, insert the hook into the first stitch here, and make half double crochet. And then yarn over, insert the hook into next stitch here, and make half double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook into next stitch, and make half double crochet. See, same pattern. Alright, I'm gonna keep repeating row 2 till I reach the end of row 24. And then for row 25, for size small, we will start separate the left side and the right side. Okay, I will meet you guys back in when I reach the end of row 24. And oh, one more thing, make sure you count your stitches every row. Okay, so you not increase or decrease by accident. Alright, okay, I have 24 rows here. This is the end of row 24. And now for row 25, chain 1 and turn. The chain 1 never count as a stitch. And for row 25, we're gonna start separate the left side and the right side to for the bra shape, which is right here. Okay, we will crochet the left side first for the bra shape. The left side when you wear it, which is this one, this side. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start decrease. Skip the first stitch and then 1/2 double crochet into each of next 24 stitches. So skip the first one and then yarn over, insert the hook into the next, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through. This is the first half double crochet, and then we're just gonna make 1/2 double crochet into each of next 23 stitches. Okay, include the first one, you will have 24 half double crochet. Okay, so now I have 3, 4, 5, 6, and I will be back when I have 24 stitches. Okay, now I have 24 half double crochet stitches here, and then next I'm gonna skip next stitch and then make half double crochet into the next. So yarn over, skip next stitch, insert the hook into the next, pull up a loop and make half double crochet. So this is the end of row 25, and I have 25 stitches. Now in each row we will decrease 2 stitches, 1 stitch on each side, to create the bra shape here. Okay, to make us point this way. Alright, so remember we skip 1 stitch when we start and then we skip 1 stitch at the end. That means we decrease 2 stitches. And yeah, like I said, I have 25 stitches at the end of row 25. If we're gonna count the stitches that we skip, I will have 27 stitches here, which is half of 54 stitches. Alright, so now both are even. When I start, I have 24 stitches, right? And then I separate it in half, so I will have 27 stitches. So the 27 stitches here, and I decreased 2 stitches, so I have 25 stitches. I hope it makes sense. Yeah, whatever, both sides are even. That's all important. Alright, now for row 26, I'm gonna chain 1 and turn. The chain 1 never count as a stitch. And then skip the first stitch here. And then make 1 half double crochet into the next and then into each stitch till you have 2 stitches left. Alright, so yarn over, skip next stitch, insert the hook into the next and make half double crochet, and then half double crochet into the next, and then half double crochet into the next. Okay, keep making 1 half double crochet into each stitch till you have 2 stitches left, and I will meet you guys back in. Okay, now I have 2 stitches left at the end, and then we're gonna skip next stitch and then make half double crochet into the last stitch. Okay, so yarn over, skip next stitch, insert the hook into the last stitch here, pull up a loop and make a half double crochet. Okay, I'm at the end of row 26 and I have 23 stitches. Okay, so like I said, in each row we will decrease 2 stitches, 1 stitch on each side. Remember, when we start, we skip the first stitch, and then at the end we skip 1 stitch as well. So we decrease 2 stitches. And now for row 27 to row 34, we're gonna repeat row 26. But keep that in mind, in each row you will decrease 2 stitches, 1 stitch on each side. Alright, so I'll show you a few more stitches. So row 27, chain 1, never count as a stitch, and turn. So skip the first stitch and make half double crochet into the next. So yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch here, skip the first one. Okay, and make half double crochet, and then just repeat row 26, 1 half double crochet into each stitch till you have 2 stitches left. Okay, it's very easy. And I think I will meet you guys again when you have 2 stitches left at the end of row 27. Okay, now I have 2 stitches left at the end of row 27, and then we're gonna skip next stitch and then make half double crochet into the last stitch. Okay, so skip next stitch and then insert the hook into the next here, pull up a loop and make last half double crochet. Alright, so the end of row 27, I have 21 stitches because we decreased 2 stitches. Alright, so you're gonna repeat row 26 till you have 34 rows, and every row you will decrease 2 stitches, 1 stitch on each side. Alright, and then the end of row 34, you will have 7 stitches left. Okay, if you're making same side that I made, and whatever the side that you make, follow the written pattern that I give to you on my blog. Okay, just follow that. And yeah, for size small, the end of row 34, I will have 7 stitches left. Alright, so make sure to count your stitches every row so you not decrease too many stitches or decrease by accident. Okay, and don't forget the last stitch too. It's a little difficult to see here. As you can see, it's kind of hiding, so be careful. That's why I want you to count your stitches. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna keep making the left side for my bra shape, and then I will meet you guys back in when I reach the end of row 34. I'm at the end of row 34 here, and I have 7 stitches left. For row 35, we're gonna start create this part here. Okay, this part. All right. Oops. Okay, row 35, chain 4, 1 2 3 4, and then the first 3 chain count as 1 double crochet, and then the chain 1 count as chain 1. Yeah, it's count as 4 chain count as 1 double crochet and chain 1. Okay, and turn, or you can turn first and chain, doesn't matter. And then we're gonna skip next stitch. Okay, and then make 1 double crochet into the next here. Okay, skip next stitch here. Okay, not the very first one. So the very first one is belong to the chain 3 here. Okay, because we count 3 chain as 1 double crochet, so we don't count that stitch. Okay, so we skip next stitch and make double crochet into the next. So yarn over, skip next stitch, insert the hook into the next, and make a double crochet like so. That's what it looks like. And then chain 1, skip next stitch, and then make 1 double crochet into the next. So yarn over, skip the next, insert the hook into the next, and make a double crochet, and then chain 1, skip next stitch, and make 1 double crochet into the next, which is the last stitch. So yarn over, skip next stitch, insert the hook into the last stitch here, and make a double crochet. Okay, that's what it looks like. This is the end of row 34, and I have 4 double crochet, includes the 3 chain as well. And then I have 3 chain space. So 1 chain space, 2 chain space, and 3 chain space. All right. And then row 36, we're gonna chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Count as 1 double crochet and chain 1. All right, and then turn, or you can turn first and chain, doesn't matter. And then make 1 double crochet into the double crochet stitch here. So yarn over, insert the hook into the double crochet stitch, and make a double crochet. And then chain 1, make 1 double crochet into the double crochet stitch here. So yarn over, insert the hook into the double crochet stitch, and make a double crochet like so, and then chain 1. And now for the last stitch, gonna be into the 3rd chain, okay, because we count 3 chain as 1 double crochet. So we're gonna yarn over, insert the hook into the 3rd chain here. All right, if you're not sure, you can count as well. So this is the 1st chain, 2nd chain, and 3rd chain. So insert the hook into the 3rd chain, and make a last double crochet. Okay, this is the end of row 36. I have the same 4 double crochet and 3 chain space. And for row 37 to row 39, repeat row 36. I show you one more rows, which is chain 4, and then count as 1 double crochet and chain 1, and turn, and 1 double crochet into the double crochet stitch. Same pattern. Chain 1, and make 1 double crochet into the double crochet stitch. Chain 1, and make 1 double crochet into the last stitch, which is the 3rd chain. You can count as well. So this is the 1st chain, 2nd chain, and 3rd chain. Insert the hook in there and make a last double crochet like so. Okay, row 38 and row 39, repeat row 36, repeat the same pattern. Okay, and I will meet you guys back in when I reach the end of row 39. Okay, now I'm at the end of row 39. All right, and then I gonna cut the yarn, and if you want your V-neck to be lower, you keep adding more than 39 rows. Okay, and for me, this is the end of row 39, and then I just gonna cut the yarn. So for this panel, I'm not gonna leave a long tail because one panel that I made, I already leave a long tail. Okay, you need to leave a long tail for one panel, like I told you earlier, for sewing the shoulder here. All right, so here I have long tail already. This one I just cut the short tail, and then I just gonna pull the yarn out, and then I will weave the end later. Okay, so this one I leave the tail about 6 inches, just enough to sew this shoulder part. All right, and then next we're gonna come back and crochet the right side. We're gonna come back for this side. Okay, and see right now that's what it looks like. All right, and then we're gonna add new yarn. We're gonna add the new yarn right here. Next stitch after the last stitch from the left side. Okay, just the stitch next to it. We're not gonna skip or anything when we add new yarn. So I bring the yarn out, and then I tie a knot. Insert the hook into the same stitch. Pull up a loop and chain 1. Okay, so for the right side, we're gonna crochet exactly the same when we crochet the left side. Okay, but I'm gonna show you guys to get started. Okay, so remember when we start the left side, we skip the first stitch. So for this one, the chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, right? And then we're gonna skip that first stitch there. Skip the stitch that we chain 1. Okay, we're not gonna crochet in there. We're gonna crochet into the next stitch. That means we skip 1 stitch. Okay, so I'm gonna yarn over, insert the hook into next stitch here, and make half double crochet. And then we're just gonna make 1/2 double crochet into each stitch until you have 2 stitches left at the end. All right, and then I will meet you guys there. Okay, now I have 2 stitches left at the end of row 25. So this row 25 on the right side. Okay, I forget to tell you. All right, so after we have 2 stitches left, we're gonna skip next stitch and then make 1/2 double crochet into the last stitch. Okay, so yarn over, skip the next stitch, insert the hook into the last stitch, pull up a loop and make a make a half double crochet. Okay, like I said, we're gonna repeat the same pattern when we make the left side, but I'm gonna show you guys one more row. All right, so row 26, chain 1 and turn, or you can turn first and chain, doesn't matter, and the chain 1 never count as a stitch. And then do the same, skip the first stitch and make half double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over, skip the first stitch, insert the hook into the next and make half double crochet, and then make 1/2 double crochet into each stitch until you have 2 stitches left at the end. All right, and I will meet you guys back in. Okay, now I have 2 stitches left at the end of row 26. So sometimes the last stitch is difficult to see, so be careful. Okay, or you can place the marker into the first stitch in every row as well if you're not sure that you're gonna see the last stitch. Okay, so yeah, anyway, I have 2 stitches left. I'm gonna skip next stitch and then make 1/2 double crochet into the last stitch. Okay, so I yarn over, skip next stitch, insert the hook into the last stitch. Alright, so if you're not sure where is the last stitch, you can turn as well. So you can see here I have 1 here and 1 here. Okay, so I yarn over, skip next stitch, insert the hook into the next, which is the last stitch, pull up a loop and make a half double crochet. Okay, I'm at the end of row 26. I have 23 stitches. We just decrease 2 stitches, 1 stitch on each side. Alright, that's it. It's the same pattern, guys. So you gonna make everything the same when you make the left side. Okay, so for row 27 to row 39, you're gonna repeat exactly the same pattern on row 27 and row 29 on left side. Okay, everything the same. And then yeah, in each row you will decrease 2 stitches, 1 stitch on each side. And then don't forget the last stitch is difficult to see, like I said. And then if you're not sure, you can count your stitches every rows, or you can place the marker into your first stitch. Yeah, I gonna go ahead and then crochet row 27 to row 39, exactly the same when I make the left side. Alright, and then I will meet you guys back in when I reach the end of row 39. And good luck. Okay, now I have 39 rows here, and then this is the end of row 39, and I already cut the yarn. Alright, and next we're gonna sew the tank top together. So I bring the other panel here, and then we're gonna put the right side facing each other. Okay, we're gonna sew on the wrong side. So now this panel is right side facing up, and I bring the other panel right side facing down. So we want right side facing each other. Alright. Okay, and then I bring my yarn needle, and we're gonna sew at the shoulder here. Okay, we're gonna use the long tail that we left earlier for one panel. Remember, I tell you to leave long tail in one panel, and the other panel you don't need to leave a long tail. So this panel have a long tail. So I'm gonna start sewing this side first. Nothing fancy, I just gonna sew back and forth. Make sure right side facing each other. Alright, so I have my yarn, my tail on the front panel here. I will call this front panel, I will call that back panel. But doesn't matter which one you want to be, the front or the back, because they are the same. So now I'm gonna insert my needle into the third chain. Okay, so I count. This is first chain, second chain, and third chain. So I insert into the third chain. Okay, and bring it out. And then I'm gonna go into the first stitch where the yarn come from here, just to sew one more time, and then go into the third chain. We're gonna sew into the same stitch one more time. That's what I sew anyway. You can do different. Alright, and then I'm gonna insert my needle into next stitch here. Okay, which is the chain stitch. And then next stitch on the back panel as well, into the chain stitch, and then bring it out. You can use any method you like. Okay, this is how I sew mine. And then insert into next stitch of the front panel, next stitch of the back panel. Okay, next stitch of the front panel, which is the chain stitch, and then next stitch of the back panel into the chain stitch. Bring it out. Next stitch of the front panel, next stitch of the back panel. Next stitch gonna be the chain stitch here. Okay, on the front panel, and then the chain stitch of the back panel. And then for the last stitch, gonna be the next chain here, which is the third chain if you count from here up. Okay, insert your needle there, and then the last stitch of the back panel here. This is how I sew mine, and then bring my needle out, and then I tie those tails together, and then I'm gonna weave the end. Just weave the end. I just try to hide my tail. And turn it back. Alright. And then I'm just gonna trim the tail. I can't find my scissors right now. So yeah. And then I'm gonna hide this tail as well. Make sure it's secure, and then I'm gonna trim the tail. And then after you hide all the tail, you're gonna sew this side exactly the same that you sew this side. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and sew this side, and then I'm gonna weave all the end, and then I will be back and we will sew on the side of the tank top. Okay. Okay, now I have both sides sewn, and I already weave all the ends. And next, we're gonna sew the side of the tank top. Okay, right side still facing each other. We still sew on the wrong side. So I'm gonna turn this way. So you need to cut a new strand of yarn. I cut about 22 inches long, just enough to sew this side to here, to this part. So we're gonna sew from the bottom up till we reach the row before we separate the left and the right side. So for the small side, the row before we separate the right and the left side, which is row 24. Okay, because row 25 we start to separate the left and the right side, right? So we're gonna sew from the bottom up till we reach row 24. Okay, and now if you want to place the marker into the row, whatever the side that you're making, it'll tell you what row you need to sew from the bottom up to. Okay, so for size small, we're gonna sew up to row 24. So I'm gonna count 24 rows. Which is right here. Or you can look here as well. So see, this is the row we start to decrease, right? And here is the row before we decrease, which is row 24. I place the marker there. Same at this side. It's just gonna look right here. Right here. Alright. So yeah. Start sew from the bottom up. So I'm gonna insert my yarn needle into the first stitch here of the, I will call it front panel. Okay, and then that first stitch into the back panel, like so. And then next stitch of the front panel, next stitch of the back panel. It's difficult to see the stitches because it's not like a normal stitch. That is the end of each row. So you have to guess where you're gonna insert your needle into. So next stitch of the front panel right here, back panel right there. Okay, but whatever you sew and whatever method you use, make sure the end of each row on the back and the front panel are lining up like this. Okay, you want all lining up, whatever you sew, whatever method you use. Okay, not like this. If like this, it's no good. You want this lining up like this. Okay, so for me, I just gonna sew normal, just go back and forth. So next stitch of the front panel here, and then next stitch of the back panel here. And then next stitch of the front panel, next stitch of the back panel. Next stitch of the front panel, next stitch of the back panel. Okay. As you can see, it's lining up, right? Alright, so you're gonna keep sewing all the way up. I'm gonna keep sewing all the way till I reach the marker. And yeah, and I will meet you guys back in when I reach the marker stitch here. Okay, now I reach the marker stitch here, which is row 24. And then I'm just gonna remove marker, and then I'm just gonna flip the end. Just insert my needle back. Okay, and then tie a knot. And then just gonna hide my tail. Okay, and then I'm just gonna trim the tail. And you're gonna sew the other side exactly the same, whatever method you prefer. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sew the other side exactly the same, and then I'm gonna weave all the ends, and I will be back. Okay, now I weave all the ends, and then I turn my right side out. So that's what it look like on the right side. Okay, beautiful. And yeah, congratulations, you just create a very cute tank top. And I hope you enjoy making this project. If you do, please give it a thumb up and subscribe to my channel. And I would love to see your tank top as well. Please feel free to text me on Facebook or Instagram. I will put all the link in the description below. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next video. Bye bye.